All right, let's talk about sales versus sales management. When you're thinking about your career, you got to say, what should I focus on? What should my direction be where I can get the biggest bang for the buck? And here's the biggest bang for the buck that you want to look. Obviously, there's got to be a reason sales is attractive, because in sales people, I don't know if it's 80 or 90%, but if you're not a professional athlete, a celebrity, you find an oil well in your backyard, the large, overwhelming percentage of people who make above average income are in sales. You know, you hear about CEOs, you hear about the athletes of the big contracts, but the overwhelming majority of people who make big money are in sales. And so that's what at first attracted my attention. You know, I didn't understand what sales was, but I sure knew here's what I wanted. I wanted a chance, and this is what I recommend for you. When you go out there, you want to have a chance to go out there and find a position where you can throw your energy in there and you can have a chance to reach whatever financial goals you have for yourself, and also professional goals. See, you need to think about this thing as you're starting your career. You know, what am I doing where I'm not going to feel, if I've worked 20 or 30 years, that I went in the wrong direction here? Either I didn't make, I really wanted to make a whole lot more money than I'm making here, or I wanted to achieve more. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make a ding in the universe and feel, a lot of people go out there and they chase the money and they do well making money, but they never have any time off. They never have any chance to do anything with their family or the community. And they say, I spent all that time and I haven't been able to accomplish anything. What have I done other than make money? Here I am at 40, 50 years old. All I've done is work hard to make a few bucks for myself and my company rich. This is really not fulfilling. Well, you want to look back in your life and say, I had a chance to do what I wanted to, what I felt like I was called to do, my abilities. And a lot of people are in things where maybe they're not making as much in the financial side, but they're making an impact. They're doing what they want to do. They're impacting. This is their place. Professionally, no, this is where I can make my life count. I enjoy doing it. It makes a difference. I feel good about it. So in sales, so you want to check all these boxes off. You want to say, whatever this is, if it's this much or if it's way over here, you want to have a chance to reach whatever financial goals you want, and also wherever it is along here that you want to feel like you're making a difference in other people's lives. So when you get into, a lot of people look at sales because they either want or they have needs to make bigger amounts of money. And you start thinking about this, of course, when you have a family. You start thinking, a lot of people start thinking about this when they think about they have charities or they have families that they want to support, and they're not going to be able to do it with what they're doing now. So they said, I'm going to have to go in another direction. So that's why people take a look at sales. But sales is great. Let me tell you why sales is great. Sales is great because you only have to keep up with yourself. I used to like this because when I graduated from Georgia Tech, a degree in building construction after I found out architecture was going to take forever. And I didn't want to wait till I was 35 years old to start making some money and be independent, be something other than a draftsman. So I got involved in building construction, but what it was a nightmare of keeping up with people. I like the idea of sales because you only have to keep up with yourself. When I was in construction, building houses, I was, seeing people at 7 o'clock in the morning out on job sites. We had 25 different houses going out, 11 contracting crews out there every day to keep up with, keep them in supply, keep them on track. Working through people is great in learning delegation, but was run ragged. And then at night I was calling them, trying to get them on the phone, to line them up to show up the next day at work. I love the idea, once I transitioned over to sales, I only had to keep up with myself. With yourself. See, I love that. And no longer would I have to worry about other people. See, if I was out of bed, everybody was out of bed. If I was on the job, if I was working, everybody was working. And if I was getting things done, everybody was getting things done. It was great. But now the other side is that it's limited. The downside is only 24 hours in the day. You get to the point where you're successful, you want to keep multiplying and keep being more successful, you reach a limit. Let's just say you're an attorney. There's a limit to how many people you can see, how many hours, how many court cases you can do in a given day, week, month. You can't be in 14 different courtrooms at once. A surgeon can't be in 4 or 5 different operating rooms at the same time. Sure, he can get the help, he can maximize the time, he can do the surgeries and just focus on what he does, but still can only be in one operating room at a time. So same thing in sales. You can only be in front of one client. So you're limited about what you're going to get. You reach a point where you're as efficient, you're as good as you're going to get, but you're limited now. And then the other thing is, it's insecure. Income stops if you get sick, you go on vacation, you say, well, I don't want to talk about it, I just need some me time, I need some me time. Well, go ahead, take your me time, but you ain't making any money because it is all based off of you. Now, that's why a lot of people get very excited about sales management. See, in sales management, here's what caused me. I was never going to do anything but do myself. And then one day we were standing in an elevator, and one of my peers, who usually had nothing intelligent to say, he said, I just realized something. He said, if I recruit 5 guys and I train them, I can live off the money, the overrides they make off of those guys, and then I can take all the money I make and put it in the bank and become financially independent, real quick. And I'm thinking, that makes sense. Multiplying the use of your time, leverage. All of a sudden, ding, 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 I started getting interested in sales management because it dawned on me that if you're in sales management, you go from limited. I never like to be limited. You like to be limited? I never like to be limited. So you go from limited to unlimited income possibilities because you can work through other people. Not only, like in sales, not only could I sell, I could train others. So now they could find people for me to see, help me in the prospecting. I could spend a bigger part of my day training them, so I'm spending more of my time on the money-making side, just like a surgeon could spend more time doing surgery if he did not have to check the people in at the front desk, fill out the insurance forms, put them in the, get them in their, check them into their room, get them their gown, prep them for surgery, wheel them down the thing, and then actually scrub up and operate. Obviously, a surgeon's not going to do that much. But if he could get help, then he can get more surgeries done in a day. Well, it's the same thing with me doing sales. This is similar in a lot of different things. And attorneys can get their assistants and everything. But this, I could make money selling. I could make some training. And then in sales, you get the magic of overrides. Once you get them trained and out on their own making sales, you get a chance to participate in that success because you train them, you're continuing to supervise them, and so you get a little override on that. So now you can make money 1, 2, 3 different ways when you're in a sales management situation. So that's how it goes unlimited. And the other thing, it is secure. Why is it secure? Because it's not just depending on you. Even if you're gone, you've got a chance to have income coming in because people you have trained are still out there working. They've got to make They're not sick. They've still got to feed their family. They've got obligations. They're not worried about you because they're not depending on you to make their sales. They're out working, but because you put them in position, you built a team. If you get knocked out, you can have a secure income. We used to tell this story in our recruiting sessions where you talk about going over to Hawaii and with a bunch of your friends, some are attorneys, some are doctors, and various things. And after a week, everybody's ready to go home, and you tell them, I'm having such a good time, I'm going to stay another week. And they say, what do you mean? You can't stay another week? We've been over here. We haven't made any money. We've got obligations back home. We got to get back and jump into the work. You say, well, that's great, but I'm not in the same situation. I've got a team back home. They're working. I've made money. I've already made money this entire week. I'll make money next week if I'm there or not. I can afford to occasionally take a week extra here and there without things collapsing around me because I have trained people. I have built team. They're fully engaged without me there because I took the sales management approach. Folks, if you ever want to get to that position in life, you might take a look at sales management. You got to master sales so you know how to do the selling and training, but you might want to go beyond that and get in the duplication and training side so one day you can be in that position to have unlimited income and unlimited security. Just an option you need to be aware of.